Hey everybody, welcome back. I just finished watching some really good erotica. Like, so good. It was like 2 hours long. It was just great. So everyone has all these different types of kinks and fetishes, right? You know, people have like a vor fetish, a foot fetish, a pregnant fetish. You know, some people only watch hentai. I mean, Samuel Jackson loves hentai. If Samuel Jackson loves hentai, hell, I'll watch it. I'll love it more than him.
Does Samuel L. Jackson like anime?
Yes, I do. Hentai too.
But there is one fetish that I have that is very interesting. My fetish is explosions. And look, it's not just me. I mean, it's not uncommon or anything like that. There's a person called Michael Before Anyone Else, or as most people like to call him, Michael Bay. And he also has this fetish too. And the thing is that he is a director, right? And he makes amazing masterpieces. And because of his power, he can actually create movies based around explosions. And I'm telling you, I just watched his Transformers movies, like all 1 through 5. I just heard of them right now. I just watched all of them in one day. But I'm telling you guys right now, masterpieces. And the 5th one is the best. The first one is definitely the worst. His movies are so good. And the thing is that Michael Bay, he has a passion for making his art because his art gets him off. I mean, have you seen this image of Michael Bay filming this movie and he has a huge freaking boner right popping out right there? I mean, guess what he was filming? Explosions for a Transformers movie. And so the movie Transformers 5, Transformers Last Night, is the movie we will be talking about today. I hope you're ready, and I hope you have an extra pair of underwear. So the movie just blasts you off immediately into the world of Game of Thrones. The movie does not stop. I mean, even from the freaking Paramount logo, it just goes at you with, guess what? I'm gonna count how many explosions there are in this movie because there are so many. It's just, listen, if you have an explosion fetish too, you might, do your business maybe around the 10-minute point of this movie because there's so many explosions. So again, all these explosions amplify the movie, and the point of the movie is to blow up. And it does that so well. I also love how Michael Before Anyone Else is capable of cutting to different shots every time Stanley Tucci says a few words.
Hello! It is I!
There's something so fresh and original and just a little bit spicy about that. I really like that. And right after that, this actually isn't Game of Thrones. This is actually Harry Potter. We got dragons and wizards here. Now, the dragon has 3 heads. It can kick ass. It's made of metal. But I also love the fact that it can disappear. It has the ability to become invisible, because you can see in this shot that it's right in the battlefield, right smack in the middle of it, and then right after, it's gone. It's so great because that also adds to the thinking, hey, these are robots in disguise. What's the best disguise? No disguise at all. And the thing is that, before, these Transformers were like robots in disguise. But in The Last Night, we've become so accustomed to Transformers, as in the real world, that no one gives a shit about them. Because you can see that these giant robots are fighting in the middle of the street, and no one gives a shit. Everyone just keeps going on with their lives. We're then introduced to Isabella, and normal names aren't gonna cut it. Not Isabella, Isabella. We're then introduced to these 2 new characters, and Cogman is one of the characters. He's a robot butler, and he's one of the funniest characters in the movie. And here's the thing, Michael Bay loves comedy. So guess what? He makes all the characters funny. Cogman plays the comedic relief role in a movie where everyone's role is to be funny. And also, who can forget about Optimus Prime? And I think Optimus Prime's journey in this movie, his character arc, is surpassing his love of BDSM. Because Optimus Prime, he meets this sexy evil Decepticon, and guess what? She starts smacking him around, she starts tying him up, 50 Shades of Grey style, and guess what? Optimus is like, oh, I'm gonna take all that, baby. And he just loves that shit. His eyes even turn purple. Purple is the color of lust.
I will anyone who stands in my way.
Do you remember the masterpiece Transformers Age of Extinction? You know how Cade had this daughter who's not in this movie anymore? He decides to call her. And I really like how, since he's, on the run, he can only have like 20 seconds to call his daughter, but he can't even talk to her. The movie breaks all kinds of logic, right? So of course the 20-second conversation has to run for about 40 seconds.
Hello? Hello? Dad? I love you.
And I think it's Michael Bay's way of saying, time is irrelevant. You know what is relevant? Explosions, baby. We also get some more of the US negotiating with terrorists because that's always been their slogan. The US will always negotiate with terrorists. So here's the thing, we get introduced to two characters. One of them is really good because we get to see her background. She's acted pretty well. And we get to see, her story starting to unravel. We also see this other guy. We could spend a lot more time with him and get to see his motivations. And we also got the protagonist. So what do? We split the protagonist from the side characters that the movie's been introducing to us for an entire hour.
Family now. They're gonna take care of you, I promise.
Now there's this thing people do, especially a lot on YouTube, where they decide to zoom in and zoom out. You know what I mean? And that's usually to capture the audience's attention, to keep them retained, right? So Michael Boo decides to step it up a notch. You know what aspect ratio is? This thing. And guess what? He's like, my movies aren't going to be confined to an aspect ratio. Bitch, he fucking changes that shit every 10 seconds. And guess what? It isn't just in fight scenes where every other movie thinks that's the logical place to maybe change aspect ratios. No, he does it mid-conversations.
Oh, don't you, dude? Why they keep coming here to Earth.
So you remember Hot Rod from the old Transformers cartoons and stuff like that? Yeah, he's French. Why is he French? I have no idea. But who cares? Last Night also retcons the first Transformers movie. How does it do that, you might ask? Well, that's easy. It's because it shows that Ironhide was here on Earth centuries ago. Also, look at these beautiful photoshops. They're so majestic. Someone got paid to do this. One thing Michael Bay and his team of writers always do is write all these comedic moments. Sometimes they nail it.
Is he chaste?
It's been a while.
Well, how long's a while? A week? A month? A year?
A while.
Huh.
Well, maybe I'm saving myself.
What are you saving yourself for? Old age?
How do they climax this actually funny discussion?
You, English lady, shut it.
Oh, look at that X-Men continuity, baby. Mwah. Where did the airplane robot go? Just so perfect. Now, the heroes get into a submarine, which is actually a transformer. And the thing is that they decide to go underwater into this transformer ship. And why? How does this make any sense? It doesn't. But guess what? It looks cool as hell. Also, Nemesis Prime comes out and he just fucks shit up. Nemesis is just alpha as fuck. But here's where the character arcs really kick in, because a lot of people say, hey, this movie's the worst Transformers movie. It's the fucking best Transformers movie. Bumblebee decides to flirt with Optimus Prime, and guess what? Optimus never wanted a BDSM abusive relationship. He didn't want that 50 Shades of Grey crap. Also, Cade Yeager can surprisingly withstand like 1,000 pounds of force because that's a giant robot swinging a sword. By the way, Optimus Prime loves his name. And I mean, he loves his name.
Did you forget who I am?
I am Optimus Prime.
I am Optimus Prime. I am Optimus Prime. I am Optimus Prime. I am Optimus.
Anyways, the movie ends with pretty much an explosion fest, CGI fest, one of the greatest scenes in cinematic movie history. Absolutely beautiful. The music just plays throughout the entire scene. It's so impeccably good. And the movie ends. It ends really abruptly, but to be honest, that's how all movies should end. Seriously. No one really cares about what happens to the characters after this. No one really cares about that crap. All we really care about is just seeing the explosions. And guess what? This movie did explosions correctly. 10 out of 10, perfect movie. And also, there's an after credits scene. That's right. Unicron is coming, baby. You know what that means? More explosions. There's a definite sequel coming. A definite sequel. Can I just say real quick, actually, in all seriousness, Michael Bay directs action sequences pretty well. If he had serious character motivations, serious characterizations, if he actually honestly cared about Cade and the British woman, I can't even remember her name, the movie would actually be pretty good, you know? Also, the movie actually made me care about Anthony Hopkins' character as little as I did. And when he died, I actually kind of felt bad, which was actually surprising. His little scene with Cogman, and you just kind of remember his little scenes with Cogman in the movie and his relationship with him. It's also just pretty good. It wasn't bad. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you really liked it, please remember to like the video, maybe comment what you think. And of course, if you really like the channel's content, please subscribe. I do a lot of different types of content, so it might be a little weird. But if you really like the type of content I make, you can support me on Patreon. Anyway, thank you so much for coming to the table, and I'll see you all next time.